Land of Olives and Cedars. A visualized journey to reconciliation. Introduction. History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again. Maya Angelou. The Israel-Palestine conflict, with its intricate weave of history, religion, and politics, has long been a somber, pulsating heartbeat echoing through the annals of global geopolitics. Its rhythm is frenetic at times and muted at others, but it has seldom found a harmonious cadence. In Land of Olives and Cedars, we shall journey through the labyrinth of this enduring conflict, not just as detached observers, but as empathetic listeners, attuned to the myriad heartbeats that have, for so long, sought their elusive rhythm of peace. The weight of history. The tapestry of the Middle East, with Jerusalem at its core, is as ancient as civilization itself. To many, Jerusalem is not just a city, it is an embodiment of faith, a sanctified touchstone of three major world religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This shared reverence, ironically, has been a potent factor in the city's tumultuous history. It has seen conquerors and crusaders, kings and caliphs, all laying claim to its hallowed grounds. The Israel-Palestine saga, in many ways, is but the latest chapter in this millennia-old narrative. The modern context, a tangle of claims and dreams. The late 19th and 20th centuries saw the rise of two powerful national movements: Zionism, envisioning a homeland for the Jews, and Palestinian nationalism, which sought self-determination for the Arabs of Palestine. The overlap of these dreams on the same land has been at the heart of this modern conflict. The Balfour Declaration, the British Mandate, the UN Partition Plan, wars, uprisings, and treaties have all added layers of complexity. While political maneuverings and territorial disputes are often highlighted, we must never lose sight of the individuals, the families uprooted, the children caught in crossfires, the generations raised on narratives of fear and distrust. Their stories are the true pulse beneath the overarching chronicles of diplomacy and conflict. Navigating the religious landscape. Religion, in this conflict, is both a balm and a blaze. It offers solace and identity, but has also been weaponized to stoke fears and justify territorial claims. The Western Wall, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, standing in proximity yet worlds apart, are symbolic of this intermingled reverence and tension. Understanding this conflict requires not just a grasp of geopolitical intricacies, but a sensitivity to the deep-seated spiritual connections to the land. The quest for resolutions. Hope amid despair. Throughout the decades, there have been moments when the heartbeats of Israel and Palestine have synchronized in brief harmonies, the Oslo Accords or the handshake at Camp David. Yet, enduring peace has remained elusive. The reasons are manifold: settler issues, the status of Jerusalem, the right of return, and security concerns, among others. But herein lies our quest: to explore, analyze, and hopefully illuminate pathways that can lead these intertwined destinies towards lasting peace. The challenges are daunting, but history also offers us glimpses of reconciliations that seemed impossible. Think of the Berlin Wall's fall or South Africa's transformation post-apartheid. Approaching with empathy, this is a narrative not just of land and history, but of human aspirations, dreams, and tragedies. As we delve deeper, it's imperative to remember that every map, every treaty, every checkpoint has human faces behind it. To truly understand, we must listen to the Israeli mother's fears, to the Palestinian farmer's grief, to the dreams of youths on both sides. It's also essential to approach this subject with humility. No single account, this one included, can capture the full depth and breadth of the Israel-Palestine saga. It's a mosaic of countless pieces, each reflecting a fragment of the truth. Towards the horizon of hope. In the chapters that follow, we will traverse through time, ideologies, pain, and hope. Land of Olives and Cedars is an invitation, a call to understand, to empathize, and to imagine a future where the heartbeats of Israel and Palestine, with their rich histories and shared landscapes, can finally resonate in a harmonious symphony of peace. Chapter 1. Historical roots of the conflict. In the heart of the Middle East, which is a part of Western Asia, lies a region bearing an antiquity so rich and tales so interwoven, it often feels more mythological than real. The region, currently recognized by names Israel and Palestine, once known as Canaan, Judea, and Philistia, is not just a piece of land, but a testament to human civilization's evolution, dreams, wars, aspirations, and above all, its unyielding spirit. The significance of this land isn't only geopolitical or religious, it is profoundly historical, for it tells the story of humanity itself. The landscape of Canaan, enveloped by the Mediterranean on one side and the Jordan River on the other, has seen footprints of many: the ancient Canaanites, the Philistines, and the Israelites. Each civilization left an indelible mark, molding the cultural, social, and spiritual fabric of the region. Canaan, with its ancient city-states, was a bustling trade hub, a melting pot of ideas and cultures. The Philistines, often mentioned in biblical tales, brought with them unique pottery styles, architectures, and perhaps the legendary story of David and Goliath. Then there were the Israelites, emerging around 1200 BCE, whose influence would extend far beyond their immediate territory. The tales of Abraham, Isaac, and Moses aren't mere religious stories but intricate moral compasses that have guided generations. Jerusalem, the undying heart of Judea, became not just the political epicenter, but also a spiritual beacon, its winding lanes echoing with prayers and hymns, pain and celebration, conquests and losses. Understanding this layered history is pivotal, for it is not just about ancient civilizations or biblical narratives. It's about recognizing that this land has never belonged to one single narrative or people. It's a mosaic, vibrant and diverse. Modern perceptions of this land, therefore, aren't formed in a vacuum. They are a culmination of thousands of years of shared history, intermingled destinies, and coexistence. However, the pain point emerges when history is viewed myopically. When one narrative tries to overshadow another, or when ancient claims are used to justify modern transgressions. The reverberations of these ancient civilizations should be a reminder of shared heritages rather than a tool for divisiveness. They beckon a call for unity, reminding every Jew, Christian, and Muslim of their interwoven histories, of a time when they shared stories, meals, and dreams in the same alleys of ancient cities. In the larger cosmic play, borders are but transient, political establishments ephemeral. But what remains, what always endures, are the tales of humanity, the shared legacies, the collective memories of joy and sorrow. If the ancient walls of Jerusalem could speak, they wouldn't tell tales of Jews or Muslims or Christians. They would tell tales of humanity, of shared harvests, of communal prayers, of collective hopes. To approach peace, then, requires reverence for this shared history. It demands an acknowledgement that before there were borders, there were stories, shared and celebrated. Before there were checkpoints, there were communal feasts. And before there were divisive narratives, there was a collective dream. Persuasion, in this context, isn't about conceding territories or compromising beliefs. It's about embracing a historical truth, that this land, sacred and ancient, has seen myriad civilizations, each as significant as the other. And just as these ancient civilizations coexisted, sharing tales and traditions, so can modern entities. For in the grand tapestry of time, what will matter isn't who ruled the land, but the tales of unity, resilience, and peace that were woven into it. A lasting peace between Israel and Palestine isn't a utopian dream. It's a return to an ancient legacy of coexistence. As stewards of this rich heritage, it's upon the current generations, both Israeli and Palestinian, to turn to their shared history, not as a source of contention, but as a beacon of hope. For in the stories of Canaan, Judea, and Philistia lie not just tales of ancient kings and wars, but the undying spirit of humanity, forever yearning for peace, unity, and coexistence. Chapter 2. The Balfour Declaration. In the annals of the Israel-Palestine saga, few documents have wielded as much influence as the Balfour Declaration. A mere 67 words, drafted on a quiet day in November 1917, would forever change the destiny of a region. To appreciate its impact is to understand the broader complexities of British colonialism and the era of mandates that reshaped the Middle East. Penned by Britain's Foreign Secretary, Arthur James Balfour, to Lord Walter Rothschild, the declaration promised the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, with the apparent caveat, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities. It was, at once, an ambitious promise and an elusive ambiguity. This promise was rooted in various motivations. The British desire to secure support from the global Jewish community during World War I, the strategic significance of controlling Palestine, and arguably, a genuine belief in the Zionist cause. But underneath this promise lay the unmistakable shades of British colonialism. A colonial mindset believes in carving out nations, drawing borders, and deciding fates, often with scant regard for native sentiments. It's imperative to realize that the Middle East, post-World War I, was a chessboard of colonial aspirations. The fall of the Ottoman Empire had created a vacuum, and the Sykes-Picot Agreement had clandestinely divided the spoils between Britain and France. The region's destiny, intertwined with colonial whims and treaties, was being decided in European chateaux, not Middle Eastern souks. The British mandate in Palestine, legitimized by the League of Nations, was not just about political governance. It was a manifestation of a deeper colonial belief that the West knows best. Under this mandate, the Jewish immigrant population increased dramatically, tensions soared, and the land saw a clash of nationalisms. Zionism on one hand, and Palestinian Arab nationalism on the other. But to merely blame British colonialism for the conflict would be a gross oversimplification. Colonialism didn't create the Zionist dream or Arab nationalism, but it did provide a cauldron where these aspirations clashed, without the nuanced understanding and empathy required to navigate such a sensitive confluence. The philosophical underpinnings of the Balfour Declaration are a testament to the paradoxes of human endeavors. Here was a promise, made with, one could argue, noble intentions. Yet, the very act of promising land, inhabited for millennia by diverse communities, to another group, raises profound questions about justice, righteousness, and the moral authority to make such promises. To reflect on the Balfour Declaration is to understand that every historical act, no matter its intention, has consequences, often reverberating through time. The ripples of Balfour are felt to this day, in every protest, every negotiation, every tear shed on the land it mentioned. Persuading the heart and mind toward peace, thus, requires an acknowledgement of these historical intricacies. It demands that we look beyond mere political acts to the deeper human stories beneath. The Jewish immigrant, seeking refuge from European pogroms, had a tale of pain and hope, as did the Palestinian farmer, watching his ancestral land reshape before him. British colonialism, with its geopolitical games and strategic interests, undoubtedly influenced the trajectory of the Israel-Palestine narrative. But for the land's denizens, this isn't a tale of politics, it's personal. Every stone in Jerusalem, every olive tree in the West Bank, every street in Tel Aviv, and every beach in Gaza holds within it stories of dreams, aspirations, fears, and hopes. A lasting peace between Israel and Palestine isn't about undoing history. That's an endeavor bound to falter. It's about understanding it, in all its complexities and nuances. It's about recognizing that for every political act, there's a human story, waiting to be heard. And perhaps, in those stories, in those shared tales of joy and sorrow, lies the blueprint for a peace that both sides so profoundly yearn for.